The federalism movement is growing in the Philippines, but along with the movement are many myths associated with federalism which have become arguments for it. We ask UP students what they think these myths are and lay out the facts behind the fiction. These are 5 myths and facts about federalism in the Philippines. Number 1. All federal countries are developed and progressive.
Di ba ana daw sila na ang mga federal country kay mas dato daw sa mga dili?
Many Filipinos associate federalism with development and progress because countries like Germany and the United States are federal. As of today, there are 25 federal countries around the world. Some of these countries include highly developed countries such as Germany and Canada. However, not all federal countries share the same fate with the former, as countries like Mexico and Venezuela are facing political and economic unrest today, despite being federal. Number 2. All regions will be completely autonomous.
Go. Ano sila na pag federal ng Pilipinas, independent na ang kada region.
Many Filipinos believe that in a federal Philippines, all federal regions will be completely autonomous. This means that the National Capital Region will not have a hold of what the other regions do, unlike in the current centralized government. However, the proposed federal constitution explicitly states that state power will be equally distributed between federal and central governments. In other words, the distribution of power is 50-50, and the federal regions will still be regulated by the central government to some degree. The prospect of federalism is lucrative, especially for Filipinos who live in regions with rich resources but have poor development.
Kapag ma-impose na ang federalism, the revenues of a specific region will be exclusively theirs to use and redistribute.
Given that NCR has the largest share in the current budget allocation per region, many believe that federalism will finally redirect a region's resources and revenues back to them and not towards NCR. However, will the proposed federal constitution thus give more shares to the region? This isn't exclusive in a sense that central government will still get a share. As stated in the proposed federal constitution in Section 1, Article 13, the taxation power and policy dictates that the federal government has power to levy and collect all taxes, duties, fees, charges, and other impositions except those granted to the federated regions, and shall be given a share of not less than 50% of all revenue from income taxes, excise taxes, value-added tax, and custom duties. Every federal region will have equal opportunity in economic growth.
Ana akong picture nga pag federalism daw kay tanan regions mo dato.
Many believe that if given the opportunity, federated regions will thrive economically on their own, especially if their resources and revenue are distributed largely towards their own use. However, the 16 proposed federated regions don't have equal access to resources, nor have the industries to sustain themselves. Number 5. Federalism will solve the political dynasty problem.
Ana sila nga mawala na daw ang political dynasty pag federal na ta.
One of the most lucrative promises of the proposed federal constitution is the anti-political dynasty provision, which limits government powers into 3: exclusive powers, shared powers, reserved powers wherein the federal government holds more of power to ensure a strong center. However, scholars argue that the power and influence of political dynasties aren't from their official government positions, but from their direct influence towards their community. Many political dynasties have continued exercising their power even when they don't hold political positions.
Did we miss anything? Want to further the discussion? Leave a comment below and click subscribe.